Oh, sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wrestling Ramble. No theme, just gonna have a quick video here to do for the episode for this week. I want to get my predictions for WWE Superstar, or not Superstar Showdown, but WWE Super Showdown thingy of awesomeness in Melbourne, Australia. Super Showdown, as it's called. I apologize here. But let's go through my predictions and let's start with the Cruiserweight title match. Cedric Alexander up against Buddy Murphy. I'm going Cedric Alexander to retain. Asuka and Naomi versus the Iconics. I get the Iconics defeating Asuka and Naomi. Iconics coming back to their homeland, their motherland. Where they're from there, maybe not specifically Melbourne in Australia, but from Australia themselves. So would make sense for them to get the win. Yes, they're heels and whatever, but they still would be a bit loved and are too, in their hometown, though. So home country. So I'm gonna go with the Iconics over Asuka. And Naomi there for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The New Day versus the Bar. I want to go with the Bar, but I'm gonna go with the New Day to retain. I'm kind of getting old with them. I call them the old day sometimes, but I respect them. It's just I think it's time for them to break up. But I do have them winning this one. As much as I really want to see the Bar be the next SmackDown Live Tag Team champions, coming up from Raw, you think that would be the case, being former Tag Team champions and how they were put together. They're still going strong 2 years later. But I'm gonna go with the New Day over the Bar. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. I'm going with The Miz continuing winning streak over Daniel Bryan. The Miz getting a title opportunity, whether he wins it or not against AJ Styles, I don't know. But as of right now, I'm going with The Miz defeating Daniel Bryan and getting that opportunity. Since the winner gets to face the champ, The Miz is going to be facing the champ, and I got The Miz over Daniel Bryan here. Next matchup, one that's randomly thrown together in the sense of one superstar being here, and that's John Cena and Bobby Lashley, based off against Kevin Owens and Elias, meaning John Cena being that fourth wheel in this match, so only because he hasn't been on the show at all, maybe house shows and otherwise. But this match is being thrown together for this, as some would say, glorified house show. But I am somewhat looking forward to seeing how it go. I will be watching live. I'll be doing a live reaction for the main event, Undertaker versus Triple H. But beyond that, I'll just hopefully be able to watch it. It starts at like 4 a.m. here in Wisconsin, but I'll enjoy it. So John Cena and Bobby Lashley. I have them defeating Kevin Owens and Elias. Maybe even John Cena getting the pin. John Cena pinning Owens. Right? Owens was the one that defeated John Cena in his first main roster match. There you go. Get your receipt there, I guess. Even though he kind of got that during the feud at one point, but still, why not? SmackDown Women's title match. Becky Lynch. I mean, awesome now seeing her as a heel. She's showing a little bit more of her body when she's not just she still wears what she wears for matches, but outside of it as well. We've seen her bikinis in the past, but I'm just saying now. But anyways, Becky Lynch, I see her retaining against Charlotte Flair. I wouldn't be shocked if Charlotte won, but I think best for Becky Lynch to win. Plus, she's from across the pond in the sense of she's an Irish. She's from Ireland, right? Or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. She's just of Irish background. But either way, I got Becky Lynch retaining her championship. I'm saying SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins against the Riot Squad. I got Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins. And if you even want to make it more interesting in a sense of what has been gone in the past weeks with Brie Bella and her husband coming to her defense and explaining like why he wasn't bombarded with tweets or messages of negativity with him and his situations he talked about with Randy Orton and even with Andrade Cien Almas a couple weeks ago or a week ago. With the yes kicks and everything, and how he wasn't blasted. Well, two reasons there, sir. One, your wife is disliked because of the affiliation or with the Bella Twins. Some WWE fans think they ruined the business. They're just divas, blah, blah, this and that. I don't think so. I think they're part of the revolution that started backstage. But then again, that's just me. But that's what some people think. So that's why Brie gets that, maybe not hate, but less of a leash than you would because you're Daniel Bryan. You love most of the fans love you. Being a male also helps, and from your story and everything, it would take a lot for fans to hate you, let alone dislike you. I mean, maybe they would dislike you as a heel because they like you so much and love you. They know the game of, do the heel, so them to do a good job to then get title opportunities and this and that. And the company, though he already has a main roster spot. Point is, main event spot. Point is there's a difference. So I'm gonna go Ronda Rousey and the Belgians, and I'm even gonna go Brie Bella getting the pin. Maybe Rousey knocking one of them out and just taking Brie in so she can hit a finishing move and get the pin. 1, 2, 3. Or it could be a thing where all three of them do something, and 1, 2, 3. Either way, Ronda Rousey, Bells wins, getting the win. If Nikki's gonna turn on Ronda, in the sense that'll happen the Raw after, but that's just how I see it overall. Next match, moving on, like I said, I'm going through here fast because soon I'll have Clackman part of it. He didn't want to be part of the predictions, but since it's so late, he wants to talk about other things. WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. I'm gonna go AJ Styles. I really have enjoyed this build to this match. Especially how they use Samoa Joe. He's been a really good heel, and he's been for his career. But I don't see him winning here on Saturday morning. Which it's odd even to say that. Like it's not a Sunday night regular pay per view. It's Saturday morning, or Saturday night there in Melbourne, Australia, but 4 a.m. here in Wisconsin Central Time. So I'm going with AJ Styles to retain his title, stay WWE champion. Moving right along here, the last final two matches: The Shield versus Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. I have The Shield getting the win. I have Dean Ambrose pitting Dolph Ziggler, 1, 2, 3. But however, whoever Shield over that team, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre there. And the main event, The Undertaker with Kane versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels. I see Shawn Michaels get involved and helping Triple H get the win, which will set up either a tag team match at Crown Jewel, which is going to be interesting in its own right. I look forward to it too. I'm pumped also for the women's show Evolution at the end of the month. But here I'm going to go with Triple H over The Undertaker. Help with Shawn Michaels. That being a little tease to what probably will happen after the Royal Rumble, being a stare down and interaction in a match being set up one-on-one with The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and maybe reversing roles, Undertaker being retired by Michaels at WrestleMania. So who knows? And I hope to be at that WrestleMania, but we'll see when we get to that point. So that I would say be my my prediction. Sorry, I just wanted to. I apologize here for a moment of silence as I try to get my links of the things to my people. But yeah, it's pretty much does it for my predictions and thoughts. Like I am looking forward to this show. Like I know I'll be really tired, and I don't know if I'll set an alarm or not. But either way, I'm sure I'll be tired to be watching this event. But I am also looking forward to Evolution and how that goes when we get to that show in its own right. So Heidenreich, remember Heidenreich? He was wasn't he in a casket match with The Undertaker? And so, sorry, I'm just looking at my DMs on my personal Twitter handle at army_strong_06. Follow me there again. That is at army_strong_06. So, Monty Mikey, who I hope to have on the show once in the future, hopefully. Cameron Chase, college. He'll be busy. He'll come in and out when he can. But hey, focus on school. Kick butt. Take names. Hit a couple stunners on some tests. And do well there. And then Mark Ramble. He'll hopefully be joining us in the future. But yeah, on his way. Clackman's on his way. I don't know, maybe we should have like an Evolution theme playing for him until he gets here. Like an entrance. But he is on his way coming to the arena. That is the Google Hangouts to talk some other WWE things. But yeah, I just want to give my predictions here in the beginning. Quick, fast, and hurry. I do think the show is going to be fine. Evolution is something I'm more interested to see how that goes when we get to Saturday morning. I think the Super Showdown is going to be fine. And with matches and most being the main event, nostalgia reason. So like we got so I think Clackman's here.
Fine.
We have Clackman here trying to do like the karma laugh here with the beginning of her theme song.
I love their theme. Too bad those idiots killed her faster than. Well, I don't want to make a joke like that, but you know what I'm getting at. Okay, there we go. Hey, this is Clackman over here, joining Mr. Steve Sports Talk Radio. Man, what's going on, man?
Yeah, not too much, and hey, that's good. Hey, like I told people last week, when you weren't able to be here because you're having
Sure. Digging the wound there, stab the deep in there. Sorry,
yeah, you're busy doing things. It's not like you weren't doing anything. You had things going on. So
yeah, well, you were busy that day. Fuck
exactly. I'm just saying. I'm not. The point is, I was going to say that even when I was talking there to the audience of people that, hey, me and Clackman, we gel for a reason. We agree to things, but there are going to be things, there are going to be things where we disagree or strongly disagree on topics. I mean, it's not going to be peachy keen. That's the point. It's not supposed to be always agreement and you're right, this is right.
Exactly. So we differ on who has the best blonde booty in professional wrestling today.
Okay, beyond those things.
We have strong differing opinions on that.
Oh yeah, we do have differing opinions on females and what our types are. But again, that's all.
And it's our,
type is. Each person has their own type.
It's our differences that make us grow. It makes us have a journey, a reason for being. There's nothing wrong with having differences as long as we understand that we're coming from a different place, a different mindset, and we keep going further in the future. It's not like you're like saying something that's completely off base, like Alexa Bliss is the best looking person in all the world. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? And we have a new challenger.
New challenger. I run the debating on it. No, there's no new challenger.
So Clackman, you're the new challenger.
No, it's a fighting game reference. When someone interrupts
I know. Oh no, Smash Bros. I know.
Yeah. Street Fighter. That really started that. We were talking about the best blonde booty in wrestling, and then Kieran comes along, and would you like to give your 2 cents on who was the best blonde booty in wrestling?
I got to give that to Alexa Bliss.
Oh, is that because you only know Alexa Bliss is the best blonde booty around?
Well, it's probably someone on the independent scene, but I don't follow the independent scene.
Oh, should I send Kieran some snapshots of Scarlett Bordeaux's booty in a thong?
Complain about stuff like that.
Oh, you got censored. You got censored. You were so dumbfounded by my response. You were censored. So you want to repeat that for the viewers at home?
I object to any sending those type of pictures at all.
Okay, all right. I will.
All right. Well, like I said, I already did my predictions, Kyron, for the Super Showdown show, and Clackman joining here now. Kyron, would you be interested to predict the show, or we just want to keep rolling? Kyron?
And he's gone.
Hold on.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't hear you. And then when you talked, I couldn't hear you. I didn't know if you muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sure. I don't have the match card in front of me, so can you just give me the match card?
Yeah, sure. We'll go through it for you. I know Clackman didn't want to do predictions, but we'll go here for you. And we'll start with the opening match, Cruiserweight title match, Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy. I went with Cedric Alexander. I think if anybody's going to be the next Cruiserweight champion, I think that honor definitely should not be going to Murphy. Like that. Maybe should have won it earlier. But who do you have, Kyron, here in this match? Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight title.
I go with Murphy because he's from Australia, so I'll just go with Buddy Murphy on this one.
All right, talking about another hometown talents, the Iconics, going up against Asuka and Naomi.
WWE's gonna probably give it to Asuka and Naomi, even though they've already ruined Asuka enough. So I would give it to the Iconics because of hometown purpose. Because I didn't know Murphy was from Australia till I saw it online today. I actually knew the Iconics were from Australia. I would give it to the Iconics, but they'll probably go with Asuka and Naomi.
Kieran, you got a new message. I'll put it that way. You got a message.
Yeah, I see it, and
All right, moving right along, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the old day or the new day, going up against the Bar. Who do you have winning that one, Mr. Chase?
I would. I would have the Bar win. I mean, they're. I won't say that from there. I mean, but it's around. It's not in America. Plus, I'm not as big on New Day as I once was. Though with the Bar completely dominating the rivalry, they're gonna give it to the New Day.
Well, that's where I went too, but I really hope that the Bar wins because I've been saying that the Bar should be the next SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. So with that, I should have went put my money where my mouth was there, but I'm still going to go with the old day, I mean New Day, to retain their tag team titles because I do think their thing is they're 60 and old. Time to break them up. Have Big E do his own thing. Kofi can do whatever. Xavier, I think he's going to be fine. But either way, moving right along, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, the winner gets a title opportunity against the WWE champion, whether that's Samoa Joe or AJ Styles. Who do you have here, Miz versus Daniel Bryan?
See, WWE booked themselves in the corner here. They should have had Daniel and Bree win at Hell in a Cell because now you have Miz win 2 pay-per-views in a row on Daniel, and he really shouldn't be getting 3 on him. But at the same time, I don't have Daniel winning this match because I just wouldn't have Daniel win it yet, and I would have Miz win this match. I'm going with the Miz, but WWE should have booked Daniel and Bree to win the mixed tag match. Hell, you could have had Bree get the pinfall. And please, Clackman, I know you're about to probably make a Brie Bella comment. You can save it. So I'm going with the Miz to win this.
All right, and then marching right along, John Cena and Bobby Lashley, the tag team going up against Kevin Owens and Elias. Who do you have there?
Oh wow, they're having John Cena wrestle on a glorified house show after not having a match since his last match at a big glorified house show. I wonder who's going to win. Obviously, John Cena and Bobby Lashley, I'm going to pick to win that match. Not that I care. The best thing about this was Elias' Seattle comment on Monday Night Raw, which got the greatest heel reaction in so long, and I loved every minute of it. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go with Cena and Lashley though.
Okay. I was just gonna chime in saying that I love that as well, being a basketball fan overall and knowing the history of Seattle Supersonics, formerly now with Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's like I said, I made a great example saying it's like if they were in Baltimore and let's say the Ravens didn't exist and he made a comment about Irsay and the Colts leaving Baltimore the way they did. As someone who's from Baltimore, that would have gotten even a worse reaction because everyone knows how the Colts left Baltimore in the middle of the night. Right. And like I said, I'm from Baltimore, so I know how much it still pisses people off to this very day. Okay. So, and the thing about Seattle leaving for OKC, it was just about 10 years ago, so it's still fresh in a lot of Seattle people in Seattle's minds. It wasn't that long ago. And
the way that they even reacted, and I mean Kevin Owens and Elias, that they thought, or I'm sure even WWE when scripting the thing, right? It's just scripted television, where they thought it was just going to get a little booze and then they can move on to whatever the next things were, or maybe they were smarter to things and skipped to things that it wasn't going to get that reaction. Either way, it seemed organic and real, truly, with even their own reaction to the reaction of the WWE universe there live in living color.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, moving right along, let's go with the greatest heel currently on the SmackDown Live roster, and that's Becky Lynch, defending her SmackDown Live Women's Championship against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Who do you have in this match and why, Kyron?
I love how you're going along with WWE and still trying to push this Becky Lynch the heel narrative, even though literally almost no one else is supporting that narrative, Steve.
Vince pays him to say that, so you can't say that on the air, man. Vince pays him. Everyone knows that.
I mean, I'm not just gonna let Vince tell me what to say and do because that's not who I am. I call it the way I see it, and the way I see it is the same way. I mean, just look at the 7th Tuesday night for more clarification. Everything Becky said got cheered, while everything Charlotte did got booed. Like, I mean, at this point, I'm gonna continue to cheer Becky because who I like more anyway, and plus, WWE has not given me a real reason to boo Becky. Why should I boo Becky? She attacked Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte forced herself into her moment, stole her moment, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for Charlotte? Nah.
Becky went through a gauntlet to get her shot, and Charlotte just comes back out of nowhere, and magically she gets a shot for the championship. Why should we, the fans, like think that's cool. Like, oh, that's normal and natural. That's the same thing as no, that's bullshit.
And then the beauty of it is, like I'm glad she brought it up on Tuesday because I was gonna bring it up tonight if she didn't. She wasn't even a poster for Super Showdown. You have people who don't even have a match or aren't even gonna be there on the poster, but she being a women's champion, not being there, I'm supposed to boo this woman? Nah.
Yeah.
As to who I'm picking to win, I don't think the match should have. You can't get a title back to Charlotte because there's gonna be a riot, and you can't just have Becky win because where does that leave you for Evolution? They're not gonna have that flip flopping of the titles, hopefully. So I'm gonna go with Becky.
Right. Just think of the reaction, not just from Mr. Kyron Chase, but others. If we have Charlotte Flair win, they're in the middle of the early morning. So maybe do that, and not too many people will watch, right? If Charlotte actually did take the title back there at the Super Showdown, to then have Becky get it back again to be a 3-time champion herself at Evolution to have that match. But I myself also went with Becky Lynch to retain her title there.
And one more thing about this feud. Here's one thing I found funny when I think Charlotte was on Lillian Garcia's podcast and she says she looks at herself as the underdog. You have 6 women's title reigns. You have lost 3, only one-on-one contests on paper. You lost 3, and you're the underdog. That I don't get why WWE's trying to force this narrative on us. It just won't work. No one looks at Charlotte as an underdog. Even though Becky's a champion, I'm still looking at Becky's the underdog.
Right, to hold on to that title with Charlotte being a 7-time champion, right? So I definitely see it in that way. But yeah, I'm still going to be on the top of this hill of Becky Lynch is a heel, and continuing with that narrative moving forward. And I do see her retaining her title because I would be shocked if that didn't happen. But if Charlotte did win it back. But anyways, let's move along here. Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins versus the Riot Squad. What do you have, Kyron?
Ronda and the Bellas, I do not care. I do think this is where they're gonna start planting the seeds for Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey Evolution. God help us. Because let's be honest, even though Ruby is one of the best on Raw, WWE doesn't really care about the Riot Squad. So I'm gonna go with Ronda and the Bellas. After the match, maybe Nikki attacks Ronda or something, and that's how you start planting the seeds for Evolution. Because Evolution is a few weeks away, and they've only announced 2 matches.
Yeah, officially. I mean, we have that quote-unquote leaked card, but officially announced 2 matches there. I think, though, the turn to then get to the match at Evolution is going to happen on the Raw, like the Raw after.
So far, that leak list is true. So far, there's not a single match in there that's untrue.
Yeah, I mean, actually, there is because Kyrie. Oh yeah, Kyrie saying Shayna Baszler was made official for Evolution. So
that was on the leak. Yep.
No, that wasn't on the leak page. It said it was gonna be like a battle royal, and the winner faces Kyrie saying that night for the title. So not completely true, but 2 out of 3 so far.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those not true, not false. Like they're gonna face, but not in that way, or happening in that way in those circumstances.
Last second change. Yep.
No, that's true. I'm just saying, don't believe everything you read. Moving right along, WWE Championship match: AJ Styles facing up against Samoa Joe. I went with AJ Styles. Who do you have, Kyron?
Joe. It's a no disqualification, no count out match. You can even kind of take a page from Champion Gargano. AJ gets so emotionally, overcoming emotion that he lets the emotion get the better of him, and that costs him the match. Like, let's say AJ has Joe beat, but instead of pinning him, he goes for another 450 or something through a table, and Joe moves out the way and wins that way. Because I love AJ, but he can't hold the title forever. And really, if Joe doesn't get it here, then it'll be the same problem with Nakamura. Like, how many shots is he gonna get? So I'm going with Joe on this one. I mean, he should have won the Universal Championship from Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire, but that's not for neither here or there.
Yeah, I'm going with AJ Styles just because of the mere fact of this whole thing with CM Punk to give great kids. Record there for the WWE Championship is Brock Lesnar did with the Universal, with a modern era record there, and have it for the Raw. So that's why I would say to keep going with AJ Styles retaining the title by hook or by crook. The co-main event, I guess, the Shield facing up against Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. I went with the Shield. Who do you go with, Karen?
Going with the Hills because, and no, I don't have Dean Ambrose turning yet. That's not why. Let's look at it this way. Strowman did not win a Hell in a Cell. He's not going to win a crown jewel for the title, so they wasted his Money in the Bank briefcase. You might as well give him this win because he didn't win the Hell in a Cell. He's not going to win a crown jewel. And since the title's not on the line, there's no one really gets harmed from Strowman winning this match. So you might as well give it to Strowman.
All right. And for the main event, we got The Undertaker with Kane versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels. I have Triple H winning with the help of Shawn Michaels to set up Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker down the road by the Royal Rumble for their one-on-one match at WrestleMania. What say you, Kyron? Who do you have getting the win on Saturday morning there?
I really don't know, and I really don't care.
Yeah,
why should I care? Give me the reason I really should care about this match. You got 4 guys involved whose combined age is probably pushing 200. Why would I care? Why you have and I understand and that's the problem with WWE. They focus on making money because these countries they want these big names, but yet it's a detriment to the actual product. This match probably isn't even going to be good for crying out loud, but fans don't care. You got the Saudi Arabia show coming up, and are we forgetting this is ruining Shawn Michaels' retirement, which was one of the best send-offs that WWE ever gave. And for 8 years, I've been saying Shawn Michaels is the one wrestler that never came out of retirement. The WWE got to do it because we've got to have money. And I mean, you look at the product now. The product's pretty garbage nowadays anyway, with Raw getting its worst ratings ever, and SmackDown not doing much better in the ratings category. But they're going to these foreign countries, and you're having these matches that I really couldn't care less about. I mean, this whole show, other than AJ Joe and Becky Charlotte, I really couldn't give 2 shits about, honestly. But
that's not right.
Are you excited for the show?
Fuck no.
Exactly. But
hold up. Let's just go through the gamut right here. Let's just break it up for a little bit there. We have Super Showdown Saturday. We have the Crown Jewel. We have Evolution and Survivor Series coming up at the end of November as well. So which one of those 4 do you see the most palatable for wrestling fans in your mind? What say you, Kyron?
Oh, God, I don't even know. You know what's funny? Of all the big shows over the next month and a half, you know which one I'm looking most forward to? SmackDown 1000. That's what I'm looking most forward to.
There we go.
Not even a pay-per-view. I mean, let's look at this real quick. Super Showdown's main headline is Undertaker versus Triple H. 6 years after their last, the last time they had a match, which was good. But I actually didn't think that Hell in a Cell was as great as everyone makes it out to be. And let's be honest.
If Taker does a tope suicida over the top rope like he used to do at WrestleMania 25, I'll actually be impressed. It'll be a miracle.
If Taker moves fluently, I'll be impressed.
It was all right versus Cena last year because it was a quick match. He was all right.
But this match isn't going to be a quick match.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Triple H won't do
that. Yeah. I mean, you got that. Then you got, let's not forget, we have Evolution, the 20th. So, a card so far, I really don't care about. I mean, 2 headline matches. You got Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss, which I have a problem with. And you have Mickie James versus Lita, which I'm kind of excited for. But even then, that's not much. I mean, Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler, I'm looking forward to. That's NXT. And then you have rumor Ronda Rousey versus Kairi Sane. I'm sorry, Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. Becky and Charlotte are gonna have a match. Okay, what else are you gonna give me? What else can you offer me? And when I name all those matches, I only really care about 2. So, and then you got after that Crown Jewel, which let's be honest, I mean, they're going back to Saudi Arabia. I can bring up the double standards. You have your all women's pay per view. Then you go back to Saudi Arabia where they don't allow women to wrestle.
They're not even pushing that thing anymore. You noticed that, right, Steve Kyrie? You noticed that they're not pushing that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Not at all. The very first night they announce it, they force everybody to say, "I can't wait for Evolution." Every Evolution.
I've been saying that. I said that.
Yep.
I said that. I've been saying that one.
Yes, he has.
First week there, they were all in, and then the week after, it was like a sprinkle, and then the following week there, oh yeah, Super Showdown, oh Crown Jewel, they forgot about it, like he's Zack Ryder.
And then I mean you got SmackDown 1000, which I'm actually excited for.
Yeah,
I mean, if they do it right, I mean I can't trust that with these big episodes. I mean, Raw 25 killed that.
Are you kidding me?
Then you got Survivor Series, which I've read reports where WWE's not even doing the Raw vs. SmackDown thing, which I'll be honest, doing that actually got me interested in Survivor Series again. But now they had no interest in really doing Raw vs. SmackDown this year. This is the problem with having this many big shows so close to each other that you can't book them all. I mean, let's look at it this way. All right. I mean, my problem with doing the Raw vs. SmackDown thing.
Karen, let me give you a little bit of business advice here. It doesn't matter what kind of product you put on, as long as you get the money up front.
And you know what?
Right now.
That's true. You know, I don't like fans that make that excuse. Oh, WWE's making money, so who cares? I'm sorry, but if you accept a piss poor product, why? Like you ask me, why am I watching if I don't like it? Well, why are you watching if you're okay? Or why are you watching if you accept a piss poor product? No, and don't give me that. Oh, they're creatively fried. I mean, they don't put any creativity into it anyway. But they're creatively fried for this many shows.
My God, yo, please, Kyron, Steve, I'm begging both of you guys right now. Please give me your thoughts on the follow-up to the Ding Dong Ditch storyline on SmackDown Live with Joe and Styles. What did you think of the creative follow-up for what happened the week after?
Big disappointment.
All the things they could have did, and they do that.
Big disappointment. The least you could have done was show the police, at least show the police showing up the house. That would have at least given me something.
That'd be good, yeah. But okay, Joe was in the camera phone, so how could they actually show that without making you look kind of staged?
Okay, well, since I'm a better creative booking than half of the people writing shit.
I got an idea. Joe's still on the phone. He rings the doorbell. He's still in selfie mode. He's waiting for him to get to the door. Then in selfie mode, behind him, the police show up there and then take him away. Is that what you're gonna say? Something like that?
Yeah, basically. You can have the police arresting him and the phone falling, and you can still see, like, you know how when the phone falls, you can still see them recording it from a different angle.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would have taken that. That would have been better than what we got.
Steve, what do you think? Well, how do you think of the follow-up? What do you think of the follow-up?
Yeah, I think it would have been, obviously, I think it could have handled much better, and I like you guys' ideas of that. I was thinking something more of Joe actually getting in the house.
That's unlawful.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that would have been the new way that would have been to have it happen. At least in my eyes. I mean, your guys' idea sounds pretty cool too, but for me, I just getting in and then having to be the police coming in there.
According to criminal trespassing law, unless you do something unlawful on someone else's property, they can't arrest you for anything. So if you just step on someone's lawn, that's not a crime. If you ring the doorbell, it's not a crime. If you have a bat next to their door, that's not a crime, unless you actually break property. It's just like somewhat intent, but not actually intent. It's a really loose law. So yeah.
Yeah, so basically Joe was arrested for not doing anything, honestly. All he did was ring a doorbell. That's not grounds for being arrested. If he had, let's say, I'm not gonna say he could have gotten out. I don't think, Wendy would have been smart enough to look through the peephole and see he was out there. You could have him banging on the door so loud. I mean, it's not much, but that's better than
you give me a good idea.
What's your idea?
Like, he's banging on the door, so like, okay, this is more of a professional thing. He's banging on the door real loud there. The camera's in AJ's house for some reason. Just go with it. The camera's in the house of AJ's house. The wife and daughter are in the room. They're looking at the door of a maniac pounding on their door. He's knocking the door. He's saying, "Oh, Wendy." And then like they're getting more terrified. They get on the phone. They start calling the cops there. And then then she says to the daughter, like, go upstairs, go upstairs, go upstairs. And then she's cowering in the room there. He's peeking over by the window, looking directly at her. She's looking directly at Joe. And then like the cops start coming like a few minutes later. And like after he's like saying, let me in, let me in. And then he gets taken off to jail for like allegedly criminal trespassing. But since he didn't actually do anything, they got to let him go.
You know what? That's better. That's once again, anything we came up with would have probably been better than what they gave us, which was nothing at all.
She said that was the worst thing in the most egregious thing on WWE television. I'm like, do they even know part of their history? Are they serious?
Listen, I like General Manager Paige. I really do. I think she's doing a good job as GM. But that line,
ever heard. Simplest thing she ever said right there.
That was the dumbest thing.
Like girl.
You want to talk about breaking and entering, right? Pillman's got a gun. Triple H breaks in the Randy Orton's house.
Those were good, man. Oh,
the Triple H Orton one I think was even better than the Pillman one for me.
Not for me. I mean, Pillman's got a gun. They took it to a whole nother level.
I got a gun, bitch. They could do that again. Oh my god, that was insane. That was the A in attitude right there. Woo, man.
And that was really before the Attitude Era officially started. But
I was just gonna say maybe that right there is why they couldn't do any of the ideas we had, even in the lesser extent of Karen with the phone thing outside, even maybe that being a little bit too much edgy or whatever, that they didn't want to go that far. So they went with the stuff, monstrosity that they went with on Tuesday night, with what the ending was of that whole situation. I think maybe that could be part of the reason why that wasn't fairly creatively done.
Oh, so you can show Braun Strowman flipping over an ambulance and Roman Reigns crashing an ambulance with Braun Strowman in the back of it, but you can't show Samoa Joe kicking the door down.
I don't know. I'm just a messenger.
No, the kicking the door down is destruction of property. You can get arrested for that one for sure.
But attempted murder is okay.
That's absolutely. Actually, I remember that Kurt Angle wanted to fire Braun, and then Stephanie said no. Is that about right?
That was actually a different situation. That was when he flipped the truck over, because he actually was fired, and then Strowman went on the Strowman and just destroyed everybody and everything in front of him. Which was that was.
What about the truss? He pulled on the truss. Like, what was that about? They wanted to fire him for that too.
No, I think Kurt. I think that's that. He pulled the things down. Then Kurt fired him the next week. Then Strowman just destroyed everything and flipped over the production truck. And then he got his job back when he was about to throw Michael Cole off the stage.
Braun saying, "You want to fire me?" It was on a Rampage. Yeah, you want to fire me? Then he was hired back at the end of the show. This is like when Braun was super hot there with the fans, and they fired him on the air, but they won't fire Roman for whatever reason. You know, that kind of shit. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, you look at Braun Strowman, for instance. I mean, I also put him in the Becky Lynch category of someone who's incredibly over as a face, but WWE turned heel because they want to get someone else cheered who's not going to get cheered. Just replace Becky for Strowman, and you replace Charlotte for Roman, and that's practically the same thing. One person WWE wants you to cheer who you're not going to, and someone who everyone loves who WWE turned heel because they want to boo, but they're not going to. I mean, the difference is WWE kept it with Braun Strowman. Becky, she just snapped at the crowd one time, and when she said it, like even she said this like you look at her face, this is bullshit.
They edited it out on YouTube. Because they were embarrassed by that. It's like, we don't know what we're gonna do with her.
And Strowman, they still going at it. I mean, I don't get like WWE pushes such a narrative.
I don't treat WWE as a serious product. They don't know what they're doing from week to week. But it shows in that fucking Joe and Styles thing. It had potential to be good, and then a week later you give them that. And the whole Aiden English and Milwaukee nonsense, it was built up to be like, oh, what kind of stuff happened with Lana in Milwaukee? And it was, oh, we're going to cut you off there at a critical line that could mean absolutely anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give, and I don't give WWE a benefit of doubt, and I refuse to. I'm going to give them this. Aiden did stop and say, there's more, but I got off from TMZ, and I wouldn't want to cheat on that. That's the only reason I'm going to say, okay, let's see what else you got. Obviously, they can't show a sex tape or anything like that. I mean, the most you can do.
And Pete, if you cover up their bodies, you can get away with that. Cover up their bodies.
Yeah, but even they're not going to show the act of sex, though, because, I mean, even that's kind of pushing it.
Leaving the room is probably the best you're going to do. I think even like showing her wipe her mouth with, even though nothing's there, is still too risque for PG.
I think the best thing you do if Rusev, Lana, and Aiden are okay with it, kiss is the best. I think that's the best they can do.
Kissing is fine.
If she leaves, kind of a kiss.
No tongue though, obviously.
Yeah, no, and that's it. I mean, I'm doing what I can to help WWE make that product better because let's be honest, before this week, which I'll be on SmackDown didn't wow me. SmackDown's a pretty good show, but
It's not bad.
Raw. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Raw. I don't talk about.
I think Raw exists now to make SmackDown look better.
And then I see fans, saying, "Oh, Raw will always be better than SmackDown than me." I'm like, wait a minute. So you're the type of fan who's gonna ignore quality of product? I don't get it. Why do fans intentionally ignore the product?
You have Don Callis on Impact shaking a water bottle because a hot girl is next to him, and then he says, "Oh, I got a little wet," and then Scarlett next to him says, "Oh, you got a little wet? I'm a little wet too." He's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's more like it." Yeah, there we go.
Oh man, I mean, you got Super Show. Super Showdown is this Saturday. What's the next show? Is the next
5 in the morning for some people and stuff? Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. I have a roommate for crying. I don't know if I can.
You watch them live?
I haven't decided. I don't know. I mean, I don't care enough about it to wake up at 5 a.m. just to watch a show I don't care about. I mean, I remember WWE had that show Beast in the East that in Japan. I didn't wake up at 5 in the morning or 3 in the morning to watch that. I don't feel like WWE, you're not giving me a show. I don't care what you give me. I ain't getting up at 5 in the morning to watch it, man.
Is WWE worth your time to wake up super early in the morning for likely mediocrity?
Yeah, that ain't worth my time to get there for 8 o'clock for 3 hours for mediocrity. You think I'm gonna wake up at 5 in the morning for a 4-hour show?
The amount of distraction roll-ups on WWE TV is too damn high. Too damn high. I mean, like, they have so many different shows there that have that simple ass finish.
My problem with wrestling, like dating nowadays, like too many, not just like the pay-per-view and stuff like that. Too many shows, like it's you got 3-hour Raw you got 3-hour Raw, a 2-hour SmackDown, 205 after that, NXT the day after that. And then if you have a pay-per-view, a 5-hour pay-per-view. Like that's too much wrestling to take in at once, and it hurts.
Fine. Steve, tell them it's fine on WWE's end. It's fine. Tell them it's perfectly fine. As long as the company's making money, that's all that matters. Tell them, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But I will say also the addition, you have the Mae Young Classic going on and everything. The fun and injury of the Mixed Match Challenge, which I have been seeing each week.
I'd like to say that Mae Young Classic was good this week there, but it was just okay. The last match was okay, but Mixed Match Challenge, the final match, the one with Lana and her husband versus the other married couple, that was worth a watch. That was extremely funny. There's a lot of dancing in that match. A lot of dancing.
I haven't watched the Mixed Match Challenge due to the fact that I just don't care enough.
Including a Rikishi tribute. So, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is they didn't go. If Bruce ever started dancing with Jimmy Uso do the Rikishi tribute, I would have watched that. That'd have been too good. I left a comment on Clackman's last video about Lana, so that was worth
it. Absolutely. Did they put that on YouTube? I doubt that.
They didn't put that on YouTube. Come on. But I'm gonna take. Let's take a WrestleMania weekend, for example. You're going to have the Hall of Fame ceremony be, 4 hours? That's 4 hours right there. TakeOver goes 2 hours, which is all I need, which is 6 hours. WrestleMania is, 7 hours? So I'm up to 13 hours. Raw at WrestleMania is an extra 3, so 16 hours. SmackDown at the WrestleMania is 2, so 18 hours. And 205 is an hour. And then NXT is out. That's 20 hours in a 5-6 day span. That's too much. I stand by it. Here's what I say WWE do. Raw is 2 hours, SmackDown is 2 hours. 205 and NXT are perfect at 1 hour. And a big every main pay-per-view That's not the big 5. 2 hours to 2.5 hours, all I need. The other big 4, not named WrestleMania, is 3 hours, and WrestleMania is 4 hours. That's all I need out of it. If they did that, I wouldn't have a problem. But when you have every show go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, I mean, let's take WrestleMania this year for example.
Come on, come on, be honest. You can never have enough WWE TV. Come on, be honest, man. You love that they're 20 hours long a week there. You wish it could be 40 hours a week, don't you? You love WWE up and down, all around there. The more Alexa on your screen, the better it is, right?
Yeah, I don't have a problem seeing Alexa.
I have a problem with seeing her face Trish Stratus at Evolution, but since the fact I don't care about the show, I'm not even gonna talk about that right now. I'll save that when we talk about Evolution. I'm just wondering where Sasha and Bayley fit on Evolution. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, will they be on the card? Will they be part of the first ever women's tag team title match? Will that happen at Evolution? Like what?
Is Sasha okay? I heard she was injured.
Here's the thing. I don't believe Sasha's injured. Here's why.
All right.
If she hasn't done almost anything
she was at Comic-Con today. She didn't look pregnant to me.
And she hasn't done anything on screen that warrants an injury if you watch her matches over the last month and a half, because they've been against Dana Brooke and nothing's happened. So and if it happened on a house show, wouldn't it be video and have come out already?
Somebody would have had something.
Exactly. That's why I don't think Sasha's really injured. But I'm gonna be honest, if Sasha and Bayley aren't on Evolution, then you know how hypocritical WWE would be being right there. Think of it this way. You're the company that says these are the two women whose match started everything in Brooklyn. But yet, what have you done between these two women on the main roster to build on that? Not a damn thing. And the first ever all-women show that you say they helped start, you're not going to feature them in a big match? Do y'all have to bring up how two-faced and hypocritical that is? And the funny thing is, this ain't even a knock on Alexa Bliss. This is just a knock on WWE. Yeah, you say Sasha helped start everything, right? But she asked for the match against Trish Stratus, and let's look at it, a woman who, yeah, she's been champion 4 times. She hasn't had one successful title reign. Her last title reign was 8 days. She hasn't had one singles match on pay-per-view all year. And you haven't let her have a WrestleMania moment yet. So the least she asked you is a match against Trish Stratus. You don't even give her that? But you claim this is the woman who helped start everything. And didn't a report come out that Vince would say this was going to be Sasha Banks' year? Wow, no singles matches on pay-per-view was your year, all right. I mean, Clackman, am I right on what I just said?
They always say someone's going to be the best person of the year, and then the first month out there, they don't do anything with them.
They didn't give her a month, though, man. I mean, the best they gave her was the longest time in the Women's Royal Rumble. But after that, I mean, at Elimination Chamber, yeah, she was in the final 2. But after that, WrestleMania, she was on a pre-show. Backlash, what was next? Backlash, she wasn't on the show. What was that, the Backlash? Money in the Bank, she was in the Money in the Bank ladder match and had a good showing. But after Money in the Bank, she hasn't been on one pay-per-view. I know everyone can't be in the title picture. I understand that, and I wholly accept that part. But you keep doing the stop and go BS with Sasha and Bayley to the point where every time you have a chance to do a feud, you don't do it. I mean, let's ignore. I'm just gonna go on this year alone. They said it. They're like they were setting it up for before WrestleMania. When they were having some good brawls. I mean, the brawl when Sasha said she was a 4-time women's champion. Bayley saying, "How long did you keep it?" I'm like, this is the stuff I want to see. Then you have after Money in the Bank, but instead of making them face each other at SummerSlam, you had the stupid segments, therapy segments. Like, why aren't you just letting these two women feud? That's all we as fans want, but you're not giving it to us. Now they're a tag team again, and they're selling merchandise, sure, but neither one of them using their best of their abilities.
Yeah, but that's why I thought that they were going to have, whether it's, with the leaked Evolution of having that announcement in the early part of the show of that there's going to be this new championship, the tag team women's championships, and then maybe them being part of that. Like, that's where I thought this whole thing was going. And it was going to happen at Evolution. I was rambling about that in past episodes months ago about, okay, everybody just relax. Everybody relax. Sasha Banks fans, Bayley fans out there, there is going to be that end game. They're going to be a tag team. They're going to win and be the first women's tag team champions, and then they'll have a 3-month run. Bailey will turn on Sasha. Bailey will be the heel. Sasha will be the face, and they'll have a match at Royal Rumble or something. There 1-on-1, whether for the title or not, and then again at WrestleMania. That being the long-term planning that I thought was going to be what WWE is doing with them, because they want to use them in a high way. So higher way than being on the card. If they're not going to be either individually or together battling it out for the Raw Women's Championship. So I'm still, I guess, hopeful, and I guess I'll be hopeful until it's not happening at Evolution.
Well, you might as well stop being hopeful, Steve, because let's be honest. They said, let's look at this really quick. From the moment Bailey came up to the main roster and after SummerSlam 2016, we were rumored to get this feud. They said after WrestleMania 33 we would get it. Okay, after WrestleMania 33, I'm thinking we might get it. I mean, no. They said that after SummerSlam 2017 we were going to get it. No. They said going into WrestleMania 34 we are going to get it. No. They said we're going to get it after WrestleMania 34. No. They said we were going to get it going into SummerSlam this year. No. And then they said we're going to get it after that. No. So that's what 5-6 examples of them saying we're going to get it here. We don't get it. And then Steve keeps saying, oh, we just got to be patient. Well, how long do I have to be patient before I get it? You didn't see NXT doing this. And what happened when NXT booked these two women? We got one of the best women's match I've ever seen. But no, we got to keep waiting for it. WWE use Sasha and Bailey for political purposes. They started everything, but now they're no use to them anymore. So what they don't care about them. And I'm right on this one because let's be honest, like I said before, they haven't been on a pay-per-view since what, Money in the Bank. And like I said, I don't count the pre-show as on the pay-per-view. So they haven't had neither one have had a singles match all year on pay-per-view. I'm not counting Bailey's pre-show match with Ruby Riott at Backlash. I don't count the pre-show as on the show, and really neither do they. So, like, what makes me believe WWE's gonna give me a good feud between Sasha and Bailey, and then Steve say, "Oh, Bailey's gonna be the heel," but that alone is not using it to their best ability. Sasha in particular. The reason I keep complaining about Sasha is because I see how great of a heel she was in NXT, and I have not gotten it on the main roster. The only time we got Sasha the heel was when they put her with Team Bad, which was so stupid that they kind of broke off without much fanfare. That's why a lot of Sasha fans get angry because you say, "Oh, all this stuff is planned for. Oh, she did this," but you don't build on her in the main roster. Don't tell me, "Oh, she has 4 title reigns on the main roster." Yeah, but you have her not defended successfully one time, and her last reign was 8 days. Meanwhile, people like Charlotte and Alexa have multiple title reigns, and in Alexa's case, didn't really defend it that last one, and nothing eventful happened, but she can't get one good solid reign. That's why Sasha fans get so angry.
Man, I understand and see that. I mean, for me, what I was thinking, maybe why they had Alexa Bliss have all these title reigns, whether she's defended or not, was maybe because they need it more. As in, for Sasha Banks already being a main event in the women's division, and even having short reigns, but having a great feud with Charlotte Flair there, even with the hot potatoing, that to WWE in their eyes, that overshadowed even the fact of her having these short reigns that were actually successfully defending them at pay-per-views, and then going right back to Charlotte Flair in that feud, and other times as well, and with Alexa Bliss winning the title from Banks on Monday Night Raw there. So I think they got, at least in the Alexa Bliss case, though she is my gal, that maybe that would be the reason why that she's been more title reigns than Sasha Banks, and a longer, lengthy title reigns than Sasha Banks has. For maybe that they needed it and wanted to see how she would do with those long title reigns then with Sasha Banks, but they already know what they have in the commodity in Sasha Banks. They didn't need to see her with these long title reigns. That they thought that with these short ones, and having overall some WWE fans, and again WWE's thinking that to see what the feud was between Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, overshadowing her short title reigns and not successfully defending the titles, and it being flip flopped to Charlotte. So yeah.
Clackman, you want to go?
No.
Hey, that's the road I traveled.
The road I tried was this. WWE doesn't care about Sasha Banks. I've accepted it. I don't have to like it. I never will. But you don't care about the woman. I do. I see the work she has proven time and time again.
She
Um,
she went from being extremely important on NXT, being on there virtually every single week there, the star of every pay per view, into not even being a second thought on the main roster, and that's
I,
par for the course. So I have nothing else to say beyond like she's just another person who got screwed from NXT to main roster. That's why Johnny Gargano wants to stay there. He doesn't want to get abused on the main roster.
and I mean that's everyone. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I you can name on maybe two hands how many people went on NXT, like went from NXT to the main roster and did better. I mean, but yeah, I mean, let's look at like hell, just her build up to the feud with Bailey alone. NXT, that contract signing especially was so good. Both her and Bailey cut good promos. You had Sasha. Hell, this is when you know your character is so good at what she does. When instead of writing her name, she uses a stamp. That alone shows the type of character she can be. But when you have fans chanting, "Oh, Sasha's ratchet," like that's the Sasha Banks I want. And then like look at her like the match like her she had with Bayley Brooke. I always go back to the match because it's one of my favorites. Her entrance. You can't like you look at her entrance and say like that. Mind you, it's the first time I really got to see Sasha like be Sasha because the main roster don't count. And I wasn't watching NXT yet. This is the first NXT show I watched. Like I see her like she is gonna be a star. And in that match, you look at her viciousness. I mean, trapping Bailey's hand in the steps, smashing it, and stomping on it while she got in the bank statement. Like I'm looking at like, why can't we get this type of like women's matches on the main roster? And then the rematch they had, the Iron One match, he took that hill up, that took that hill as a hill to the next level. You know, the way she got 2 falls, as in, you know, poking Bailey in the eye, put her feet on the ropes, throwing Bailey into LED board and yeah, count out, and of course, taking Izzy's headband and making her cry. Like, why can't I have this Sasha Banks back? That's all I'm asking for. The Sasha Banks that just didn't give a fuck. Why can't I have that woman back? I mean, I saw more Sasha Banks not giving a fuck on Wilding Out than I do on WWE, and that's a shame.
So
And I
she's
mean,
on
I love Wilding Out, but still,
She's on Wild now? Oh, well, excuse me. Putting that shit up right now. Here we go.
yeah, she was on Wilding Out last week. She was on the team. She was a black team captain.
Oh, she's Disney shit? All right, cool. Wow.
Yeah, she dissed Nick pretty good in Wild Style.
All right, cool.
Like that's where I just come from. Like, why can't we just get the same? I mean, I'm not asking the exact same thing
I'll
from
watch it later.
NXT.
I'll watch it later. I got it. Take a look.
You said what?
I got it. I'll watch it later.
Like I'm not. I mean, I'm not asking for the exact same thing from NXT, but I'm just asking. They got it right. Why can't the main roster? I mean, you can't. I mean, and this is the thing. Like I said about Sasha and Bailey, you can't keep doing a stop and go, stop and go, stop and go to the point when you finally do it, no one's gonna care. Like I said about Asuka with the way they treated her. When if she does get the title eventually, which I don't think is gonna happen, no one's gonna give a fuck. I mean, I saw a great GIF, how you pronounce it, and I retweeted because I just got a fear it's gonna happen. Is someone smashing the television? You know what the caption said? It said, "How Triple H is gonna be if WWE has Oscar twerk with Naomi?" I said, "Yeah, pretty much."
WWE inconsistent storytelling. They've been doing that for like 5 years plus now. Where like heel Triple H is like on one week on Raw, and then on NXT he's a good guy. Stephanie's a good person when it comes to charity. Then on TV she's like a well, you know, we all know about that one, but yeah, we all know what happens with those guys.
I
But
mean, yeah, evolution is another. I mean, you bring that up, like the announcement evolution was one of the most forced political things I've ever heard. At least in Stephanie's case, because when Triple H was talking, he looked like he sounded genuine of how proud he was of everyone. But when Stephanie talked, oh, we went from this to this and this to this, like everything involving the women's revolution, like Stephanie has to be in the forefront. Like when Sasha
it was as authentic as Alexa Bliss's moment of bliss this week on Raw.
Oh, I didn't even watch it. Like I told you, I didn't watch the Moment of Bliss because I just didn't care enough to. And then the funny thing is, she said when she was 7 years old, she met Trish Stratus. You were born in '91, and Trish didn't get in the WWE till 2000. So how in the world did you meet her when you? as a wrestler when you were 7, when she
Tyron,
wasn't in WWE yet.
Tyron, that's called writing a segment literally at the last minute. It was probably wrote for like 2 minutes before they got on the air. Oh, Alexa, say this real quick there. But what if they like fact check it? Wikipedia's a thing. Who cares? They're idiots. They're just gonna watch whatever we want. Who cares?
But you're so negative, man. Why can't you accept it for what it is, man?
Okay, guys, I know you think our audiences are idiots, but couldn't you just say that I met her when I was 10 years old? That way it wouldn't be completely like we're morons. Shut up and do what you're told.
JD had a great, hilarious rant in his Raw review on Monday night saying, "I would love to be a fly on the wall for a day."
Oh, that was a great line right there.
That was hilarious. Oh, I would love to be a fly on the wall for creative. You can have.
He would laugh all 20 of his eyes off as being a fly.
Oh yeah. But we gotta hit the Revival lose to the Beast team.
You sound just like him,
dude. He said, but Vince, it's funny. I actually believed for a second that WWE really believed, and Vince started liking a Revival because they did have a great match with McIntyre and Ziggler, and didn't he lose to the B team? And then I know someone's gonna say, but you wouldn't have wanted them to get attacked by AOP. You could have had the Revival win the match, leave, and the B team still get attacked by AOP. How can I know that? Because how did AOP debut at NXT TakeOver the end? Oh yeah, the Revival beat American Alpha, then AOP attacked American Alpha after the match. So don't say it couldn't have been done.
Oh right, no. Now also the one thing I did like is with AOP and also the new manager actually finally not wearing like they're actually
you finally look good with them. You finally look good with them. I'm like, okay, yeah, it looks good. It took you like over a month, but it finally looks good. This is what happens when you actually give thought and effort into something. Then it's like, hey, you know what? There, eeny, miny, mo. Now you're with AOP. But sir, I don't look like I should be with them. It's okay. We already had gear made up for you. This looks good with them, I guess. Now get out there. We'll make it up next week. And then they didn't. The week after, and then they didn't. Ugh.
At this point, people always get on me talking about how I'm too negative or I don't accept anything or at least see the good in everything. But here's what I ask to you who think that about me. What's there to be positive about? People tell me all the time because
not the Venom movie, that's for damn sure.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been too busy. People tell me like for example that email someone sent to Steve, and I see these comments on my direct message all the time. Oh, you're too negative. Can't you just accept it for what it is? Well, what's there to be positive about?
I block idiots like that.
I'm not hard to please in NXT. Most of the time SmackDown Live, but not when the things WWE's been giving us as of late. I don't have any reason to be positive about. You talk about how this is a company where you should be, building for your future, but yet your next show revolves around 4 men whose combined ages is close to 200. You talk about how much you support women's wrestling, but yet when someone attacks the term diva, you're quick to jump and defend it. You talk about and then you also have your first win pay-per-view, but a week later you go back to Saudi Arabia where the women can't wrestle, and then you talk about how you want the best for your product, but yet you don't really care about one of your biggest shows of the year in Survivor Series. That's why you listen to the fans, but yet the people fans cheer for, you turn heel, and the people they boo, you want us to feel sorry for and cheer. Like
serious? Oh sure.
But I'm a negative a-hole, doesn't know what he's talking about apparently.
Yeah, I know that's what I saw in one of the first videos. I don't know if you guys ever watched BC Amplified, but that YouTube channel, he was talking about that in the beginning of his videos, where most people feel that he's just, bloviating, but that not being the case. And I like that guy because he's a fellow Packer fan in the NFL, but lives in New York. So that's a cool thing on the side, along with his thoughts on WWE. And here, my interaction now working with on this channel with Clackman. more and more, and hearing his thoughts and things. And Kyron, which has been saying things for a long time now, being on the show. You know, I'm starting to at least Clackman and Kyron combined are starting to open my eyes on things. I'm still trying to be positive.
I want to say something very important, very clear right now. I'll let you go back to your rant in a second, per se. That's not a rant, but I know what you're saying.
Right.
Look, you don't hear anything bad about Impact or Ring of Honor or NJPW or anybody else out there for one good reason. There's nothing wrong with what they do. Everything that they do makes sense storyline wise. All their matches are good. Everything makes sense overall when it comes to their next week in their bigger picture. You don't hear rants on them because there's nothing wrong with their products. Maybe they need to be idiots and be assholes and stir up a little bit of controversy and get people fired and burn a building down for people that actually start talking about them. Impact is doing great things every single week there. When it comes to the storylines, everything makes sense. They have a kidnapping angle, and it actually paid off well in that one episode. They didn't make you wait a week. They paid it off there right then with a really long promo that led to Austin Aries going off on Johnny Impact about his Johnny Nitro days in WWE and calling him Johnny 205 Live. I'm like, damn, you're going to go there? It all ended something that made you wait and led to something great. And then you got this blood angles and people being buried, literally buried alive there, burning coffins and everything there. But no one's talking about it because it's actually good. People want to keep it a secret like they did with ECW back in the day. It was so good, no one really wanted to spread the love because they want to keep it to themselves. That's what the independent scene is like because they want to keep things to themselves. And WWE's like, ha ha, look at the big time idiots over there. And that's what WWE is. We make fun of them, and they're the big name in town because they can't get anything right there. Meanwhile, the WWE is cashing their checks and living off mediocrity because they can. While the independent scene trying everything for you to like them, but you don't care because WWE has you in this mindset to accept mediocrity. Done.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, basically. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's whatever at this point. Everyone wants to keep giving us BS. I'm gonna continue to call them out on it. I'm not gonna stop until it's good. I don't care what anyone says about it. I mean, I haven't really been recording on my channel lately because of college, and I don't really have a computer. I have an iPad. I don't really want to record videos on an iPad right now. But I mean, at this rate, WWE can keep doing having bad shows, whatever. Why? Because they're making money, and that's a problem. People say they're making money; it's okay, but no, when they make money, that's when it gets bad because think this way. When WWE was at their lowest point, well, I'm talking about when they were nearly going out of business in the late '90s. They had to try. I'm not saying, and what makes WWE have to try is you have to have a legitimate contender, something competitive, something that's never going to happen. I mean, Impact's never going to be able to contend with WWE.
The indie scene now is WWE back in the late 90s. They're quote unquote trying to compete with WWE. They're trying to get eyeballs on it by actually making sense and doing good this and that there. But eyeballs aren't being put into there because the big bad company is having you accept this nonsense as real wrestling and everything else is nonsense.
Yeah, and I don't like fans like that. And I don't even watch really independent scene. I just don't have the time. But I understand what's good and what's not. I don't let WWE brainwash me thinking everything that's not WWE isn't good. And like people say, well, we need someone to challenge WWE. Who's going to challenge him? No one can because no one's going to have the money. And no one, I mean, and the worst thing is like the last time someone attempted to go head to head with WWE was TNA, and that was the biggest mistake you could have made because you bring Hogan in and you try to compete with Raw and you easily got destroyed. And then after that, the problem was it focused on a lot of past that prime old timers instead of the people that made that homegrown TNA talent that made TNA what it was.
You know, it's ironic that you mentioned that. This week on Impact, they had a GWF flashback of the week, and their flashback of the week was Hogan versus Sting at Summerversary. It's and Ric Flair was there, and all the quote unquote old timers you're talking about, they were there, and they were on the show this week there as a flashback. So yeah, you're not wrong. They were using that back then, but they aren't doing that anymore. They're carving their own path now, which is good.
Oh my god! I mean, people say, "Well, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they have the history. They could probably compete." The problem is you're gonna have the casual. And I hate using the term casual fans, but there's fans out there that don't give a damn about in-ring work, and they're not gonna watch New Japan because they won't be able to get into it. I myself don't watch New Japan. I don't have the time, and two, it's just some matches that are just too long. I don't want to sit through a 50-minute match, but that's just me. I understand it's still good. I just don't have the time to watch it. But New Japan won't compete with WWE. No one's ever gonna compete. No one's ever gonna strike fear in Vince McMahon, point where they gotta try hard, and that's a problem, honestly. So whenever, I mean that's just one problem. I mean, I don't ask for a lot out of WWE. I just want simple and good storytelling, and good in ring work, and you can't even give me that.
And like I said, hopefully the Super Showdown does at least deliver in some aspects of it to be an alright show. Make it worthwhile to get up early to be watching it at 4 a.m. here Central Time, 5 Eastern, others, otherwise, whatever time in your area. But hopefully it'll be wrong, and I look forward to seeing how it all goes out. I will be doing my live reaction for the main event, Undertaker versus Triple H. Then I'll be doing a review later in the day or whenever. Reviewing the show, and then coming back here for the next Thursday, reviewing it with others at that time. I don't think there's anything else we need to bring up here tonight. So unless you have last comments, welcome to let people know where they can find you, social media, and otherwise. Kyron.
Whoa. Did we go over SmackDown and stuff there? Shelton Benjamin getting that push and everything? You think that's going to lead to something, or is it going to be like maybe next week and then the week after, gone?
Yeah, it's not gonna lead to anything. I didn't get that. I was at a school meeting at the time. School meeting. I missed that. Missed the last hour and a half of half of SmackDown Live. I missed the second half. So I don't think it's gonna lead to anything for Benjamin. Personally.
Yeah. No, they don't push him long enough to do that. Like he could end up it'd be cool if he ended up with a feud with Randy Orton. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool for him.
Mm-hmm.
How did WWE bring Shelton Benjamin back and really do nothing with him? But I'm not even surprised.
This is the same people who bring Bayley up from the roster from NXT on the main roster and then do jack shit with her.
That's everybody. It seems like nowadays. Don't bring someone back from NXT or have him return if you don't have a plan for him. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Sanity, Andrade Cien Almas. Don't bring someone up or bring them back if you don't have a set plan for them. I mean, you look at, for example, Mike Kanellis. Man, they brought him to WWE and they did nothing with him. I forgot he was still employed.
Yeah, he was part of that. I think he was part of that brawl against the Shield that one night. So yeah, he's still employed. Excuse me. But yeah, beyond that, I don't think there's anything else. So again, I'll say again, Kyron, if you want, welcome to let people know where they find you on social media and otherwise.
Follow me on my Instagram, _Kyron, Twitter, Kyron, my Tumblr and DeviantArt are Kyron Chase, my YouTube account, Kyron Chase. I do videos on wrestling, Sonic the Hedgehog, My Little Pony for Christmas Magic. Back to you, Steve.
All right, Clackman.
Clackman YouTube, Clack off on Twitter. That's it.
Yep, and here you can find me, my personal Twitter handle at Army_Strong_06. I am wrestling for this podcast at the Ramble _WWE. Welcome to subscribe to all of our channels. Leave a like the video, ring the bell so you know when each of us are going live or just uploading a video to our channels respectfully there as well. So hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Hope you did enjoy. If you were watching live, I did see we had at least 8 to 12 that were watching live here late tonight. I do apologize I was later. Other things going on that were deteriorating, and didn't, that's why it didn't happen at 8 o'clock. So that's why it happened here later. I thank Clackman and I thank Kyron for being here even at this hour in their time zones. And I thank you all that did watch live or watch an archive. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh yeah, Kyron. Make sure you stay to the credits all the way to the end of Venom. After the credits, there's 2 post-credit scenes. There's one, pre-credit and after credits. The one after credits is the one people are talking about. It's very long after credits. It has nothing to do with the movie, but everybody enjoyed it. I'll put it that way.
All right.
So stay till after credits. Here we go.
So with that in mind, also I guess check out Venom. But beyond that, I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend and your day upcoming. And above all else, as always, take care.
Peace out.
All right, guys. Woo.